Every time that I do share a job opportunity or any jobs, whether in the UK or anywhere else abroad, one of the questions that I get asked most, regardless of the platform, whether be it on here on YouTube, on Facebook, or on TikTok, is do they sponsor or can I have a link? Guys, what I can tell you is this is hurting a lot of chances for most people to get sponsored, a lot of people from getting jobs, a lot of people from relocating and moving abroad, and even making a life for themselves. And in this video, guys, I'm going to be talking about why most companies, especially now, when they do advertise, they never mention that they sponsor. I'm also going to share with you my story of how I got a sponsored job that did not even state that they were sponsoring, because I think it's something that we need to talk about. It's something that we need to share, mostly so that people do not miss out on opportunities simply because they love to ask the questions, do they sponsor or does the company have sponsorship? I'm going to be exploring all of that in this video. So guys, let's get right into it. Firstly, let's talk about why most companies do not mention when they advertise jobs that they do offer sponsorship. Firstly, this I got firsthand from some of the organizations that I get a chance to speak to and some sponsors that I do talk to every now and then. One of the things that they mentioned was the fact that they don't like to get overwhelmed by applications. I came to the UK in 2022 July, and back then not so many people were applying for these jobs, so most companies were quite desperate. But as time went on, as the care worker visa became popular, as a lot of people became more aware of these opportunities, so many people were flooding these organizations, their emails. You would wake up Monday morning and HR emails had nearly 1,000 or if not 5,000 emails, people applying for jobs. So most people do not mention that they're sponsoring because they don't want to be overwhelmed by applications, overwhelmed by emails, and it takes them ages to go through each and every one, and in the end they might miss potential best candidates as they try to plow through so many applications. The second reason why most people do not mention, or most organizations do not mention, that they offer sponsorship when they do advertise, especially on Indeed or on other different job search engines, is the fact that they want to attract genuine best candidates or genuine people who want the job or love the job, who are going to give their best or who are going to bring value to the organization, not just people that are chasing a visa. Because there are two things at play now. Most people are finding out that what they came for or what they thought care work involved is not what it is. Most people are struggling with care work, and I can tell you care work is not an easy job. Care work isn't for everyone. So most people now are just moving for the sake of, I want somewhere where it's not as hectic, I want somewhere where it's not as heavy, or I want somewhere where I can just get sponsorship and I don't have to work as much. But guys, care work, regardless of where you are, whether you're doing support work, whether you're doing domiciliary, whether you work in a hospital or a care home, care work is care work, and care work requires your passion, your hard work, your commitment, you name it. So most organizations now do not highlight that they're sponsoring because they want to attract genuine people who want the job for what it is, not just people who are visa hopping or people that are just looking for sponsorship and then will not give their best in the job. The third reason also that I found out why some organizations do not state that they are sponsoring in that job advert in particular, in as much as some organizations have these sponsor licenses, some of them do not even know the extent to which they can use their sponsor license. They don't even know that they could actually sponsor for that role in particular. And I'll share just shortly my story and how I got sponsored for the NHS, regardless of the fact that the job didn't highlight that they were sponsoring for that position in particular. So these are some of the reasons why some organizations would not mention that they're sponsoring, because organizations do apply for a sponsor license. However, for as long as they do have a job role and they have advertised or highlighted that they are looking for this person, they can sponsor. As long as they have a sponsor license, they can sponsor for whatever position that they have, for as long as they've got a job, they've got the hours, and they've got the required pay scale for that role. They can sponsor anybody. So most organizations, sometimes they find themselves in a situation where they've never sponsored anybody. It will be their first time sponsoring. So until they found the actual person that they want, and then they realize, oh, we cannot have you on board without sponsoring, that's when then they will apply a certificate of sponsorship for you. So For those of you that consistently ask me, do they sponsor? Do you have any links? Guys, this is hurting a lot of chances. When we share opportunities, or when you see an opportunity, just blindly apply. If you fit the criteria, if you've got the skills, if you have got the competences, if you've got the experience, if you've got the passion for that role in particular, I would say apply. Let me share with you my story of how I got sponsored for the job role that I do have actually at the moment with the NHS. So I had been applying and getting so many regrets, but then I didn't give up. So when this role came up, it didn't state that they were sponsoring, but I just went like, well, I've got the skills, I've got the competencies, I fit the job specification for this, let me just apply. If I get the job, good for me. If I don't get it, it's a good experience for me. I would have had an interview with the NHS, and I would have had the feel of how it is to be interviewed for a role within the NHS. So I went for the interview, I gave it my best shot, and guess what, a day later they rang me and said they would like to offer me the job. They were quite impressed with me in the interview. So this was over the phone, and they were like, well, so you need to come in and get your uniforms, get a tour of the department and things like that. That's when I realized, well, I don't think they actually realized that I need sponsorship for that role. And then in that phone call, I say to them, well, I'm so excited and I'm so glad you like me and you have offered me this job. However, I'm on a skilled worker visa, so it's not as straightforward that I would just come and straight away work for you. Guys, do you know what they say to me? They said, well, just hold on a little bit, someone else will get in touch with you, let's just organize a few things from our end. And within a few minutes, somebody from HR rang me and they asked for my details for certificate of sponsorship. So what I can tell you, and I think I was the first person to be sponsored in that department in particular, and so that's why I always say, go and show them what you're made of, go and show them what you're bringing to the table. Of course, with a bit of grace, and you can get these opportunities, but what I can say is, for as long as they want you in particular, for as long as they have seen what stuff you're made of, what you're bringing to the table, what value you will be to the team, definitely they will work out something. Also, whilst we are on that, what gave me the confidence to apply for that job is the fact that, of course, organizations like the NHS, they do have sponsor licenses. However, it's their discretion who and when they would decide to give sponsorship. And I've got feedback from one of the people who are subscribers when he will say to me, well, I'd applied for this role with this trust, and they got back to me and said, we are only sponsoring people that have been with that particular trust for a minimum of 2 years, which is why I'm consistently saying, if you are already in the UK and you are a care worker or a support worker, it's worth it that you join the NHS bank team. It's really worth it. Why? Because you push time, you buy time. As soon as probably you reach the required duration with that organization, then you could leverage on sponsorship. You could become eligible for sponsorship. So these are some of the things that I'm consistently saying, that it's worth it that you join bank. And why do I say bank or volunteering? With bank, the only requirement is that you work one shift in 90 days. That's the minimum requirement. So for those of you that will be here and saying, well, I never get time, or my rota is always packed, or I don't know my rota in advance, there's always shifts coming up on the bank team for whatever trust. There's so many shifts that will be coming up, and it's entirely up to you for you to pick the shift that is doable for you. So you are in control of the shifts that you pick, the times that you would want to work. It's entirely up to you. So it's no wonder why I'm consistently saying, apply for these roles, join the bank team, because it opened doors for me. It did it for me. And there comes this group of people who even they never apply. All they want is they want to hear from you whether you say they are applying, they are sponsoring or not. How then are you going to get that opportunity if you do not make the effort to apply? How do you expect to throw your name in the hat, throw in your application, and you get picked, and you get... This is how people land these roles. And sometimes, well, just to answer that question where people ask me, does this organization sponsor? Sometimes I bump into these opportunities and I never have the time to go and check on the sponsor list. So the onus is on you who is wanting to join these organizations, whether it's a council, whether it's the NHS, or whatever private organization, for you then to go on gov.uk website and then check if that organization is sponsoring. So there are two things at play. You need to apply. You need to verify on the gov.uk website if that organization in particular is sponsoring. And I know where we come from. It's most of these jobs that we get when we are back home, it's on a who do you know basis, who do you have connections or links with basis. But guys, this is the land of opportunities where if you throw your name in there, if you are within the zone, if you are amongst those people and you show what stuff you're made of, you can land these opportunities without knowing anybody, without paying anybody, without having been connected by anybody. That's why I will not stop saying the onus is entirely on you to land these opportunities. I can never talk about opportunities and success without talking about faith and action. I've come to realize that faith and action equals to a breakthrough. So what do I mean by that? Yes, faith is good. Yes, faith will get us thus far. However, action is key to the whole recipe of getting a breakthrough. Why do I say that? It's because when you act is when you go on and quack that CV, spruce up that personal statement, and actually do hand in the application, go on the website and apply. And then with faith and we're praying, and guess what? This is what those who succeed do. This is what some of us did for us to land these roles, and I know you too can. So don't stop from increasing your faith. And I know things are looking all down and gloomy, and I know there's so much talk on social media, so much talk out there to say, well, there are no jobs out there, or such and such organization is not employing. Guys, let me tell you, these organizations, when it comes to the people that they want, they will do anything. When you show them that you are the best, when you go and give it your all in that interview, when you go in that interview and you perform at your best, guys, you will land these roles. Don't let anybody stop you. And some people will tell you, oh, these opportunities are flooded. Why are you telling others that they are flooded when you're in there? I want to go in. I'll do everything that I can to get in there. I'll see for myself when I get in there. And that's the spirit that we cultivate on this platform, guys. We cannot give up so easily. We have to put our faith into action, and we will see numerous breakthroughs. So guys, here is my advice. If you are wanting guys, opportunities in the diaspora are not for those who wait, but are for those who put action, who act, who put in the work. So get in there. Don't wait for opportunities that say we sponsor. Just start applying. Just start being in there. Just start polishing up your interview skills. Just start polishing up that CV, that personal statement, and you will be surprised at the amount of doors and opportunities that will open for you. Opportunities are still out there. I've shared on my Facebook, a lot of people are reaching out to me with numerous testimonies of them, getting opportunities. Even in this current environment, people are still getting lucrative opportunities, and we cannot stop saying the fact that when you work for these organizations such as the NHS and the council, amazing opportunities, career progression, work-life balance, which is one of the key things that are making a lot of people say, I'm failing, I'm struggling in the diaspora. When there's no work-life balance, a lot of people do struggle, especially those who have got families, those who have got young children. It's very difficult. Those who've got partners, it's so difficult. But when you work for organizations that prioritize their employee welfare in that regard, when you choose jobs that gives you that balance, you become healthier and you've got time for other things. And such organizations, we cannot overemphasize the fact that we are seeing it with our own eyes, we are living it, we are experiencing it, and so can you. So don't wait, start acting now. Don't go about just asking, do they sponsor, do you have links? Don't even wait for people that will share links. And I know here once in a while we do share links as and when we come across them. It's not like we're consistently searching for links so that we can give people. Do the job the same way we do, the same Indeed that we go and look for opportunities is the same one that you can use, and you can grab these opportunities for you. We can't wait to hear your testimony when you start putting that faith into action. And guys, if this inspired you, if this has spoken to you in particular, put a comment, put a like, and if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do subscribe so that you get to hear more of immigration talk, opportunities abroad, not just the UK but everywhere else abroad. We do share opportunities. So guys, that's all I had for you in this video as we enjoy whatever is left of the British sun, because guys, I think winter is on its way. It's a bit nippy at the moment, but I'm outside and I'm recording because other family members are in the house, so I can't disturb them. So guys, that's all I had for you in this video. I'll see you. Bye.